Okay, so welcome everybody to this session. This session is all about stepping into the most confident version of yourself, but that is something that is defined by you. So, confidence isn't something that is purely external, it's actually internal as well, right? So, it's about how can we practice that self acceptance? How can we fully accept ourselves and step into the most radiant version of ourselves wherever we are going? Either we are going to meet a friend, either we are going out for coffee by ourselves, or we are going to a work meeting. How can we show up as the best version of ourselves in every situation? So, this is what this session is going to be about. I got this idea when I was just in a coaching container with a client, and she said, would you be doing a body language session by any chance? Or would you be doing a posture session? And I just thought that maybe it may be a good idea to do this session. And I just got the idea and I did it. So here we are. And just going to go now. So just before we start, I would invite everybody to just get comfortable. Maybe you can grab a journal and a pen if you have one on the side. Just grab something just so you can write down all the insights that you get from this session and you have something to take away with you. Get cozy, get a drink if you want to. I'll wait for you. Just get very comfortable in this session. And I invite you to be open to everybody in this session, in this circle. Be open to insights coming from everyone because it's that one insight that can completely change the trajectory of our lives. So I invite you to be open-minded, grab a journal, grab a drink, and then we are going to dive into the session. Whenever you're ready, you can give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs up in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with. All righty. So as we move on now, I invite everybody to do a little introduction. So let's just so we get to know each other better. What I invite people to do, usually people say, okay, I work here, this is my name. What I invite you to do actually is to tell me your name, but also tell us what is it that makes you special? What is it that is something so unique about you? And what got you here?
I can start.
Yep, go ahead, Lydia.
Yeah. My name is Lilia, and what makes me special is my deep understanding of myself, my needs, my emotions. It's because I've been working on my internal world for years. And I believe I reached this stage of when I want to allow myself to um, to live to live life I want and I really deserve. And I realized that confidence is one of the part of my internal world, of my personality, which I want to uh, develop next year and get the things I want, I deserve. Because if I'm confident about myself and about what I deserve, then I believe I will get it. And I just want to show myself that yes, that's what I deserve, that's what I get. Because all these years I restricted myself a lot, and doubts were like a big part of my life, and they were not allowing me to get what I want. And next year I just want to, you know, live fully and be confident about myself, my life, and that's why I'm here.
That is really beautiful, Lilia. And I also saw you in the previous workshop. So I'm really glad that you are doing the internal work. And this is what life is, in my perspective, that it is about evolving. It's about becoming better and knowing yourself more and more every single day. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're doing the inner work. And confidence is something that we build every day. And this is something I'm going to talk about as well. So I'm glad that you're here. That's wonderful. Who would like to go next?
Thank you.
I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Karen.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Karen. What makes me special? I think one of my main, I can say my main parts of my personality is that I'm very sociable. And I can say that I'm very good at connected with people and understanding them. Um, my problem, I don't know if it's a problem, but what got me here is that I sometimes don't believe a lot in myself. Sometimes I boycott my own ideas, or I think that I'm not enough for doing what I'm doing or what I want to do. I would like to work a bit more next year on that. Yeah, because I also have a brand, but I don't know how to restart that. That I started a few years ago, so I'm kind of stuck. You know, try to work on that now, and that's all.
That is beautiful. I love that. And I know Karen very well. Actually, she used to be one of my housemates back like 1 year ago or something, but she is really amazing. She's an English teacher.
Thank you so much.
It was my very first coaching session, my very first coaching session. So it's amazing to see you here. Thank you so much for
Thank you
sharing.
so much.
Yeah. And who would like to go next?
I can go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, Ines.
So yeah, my name is Ines, and I believe what makes me special is the way that I connect one-on-one with people. Like my listening skills, I genuinely care about, other people's passions, interests, ambitions. And I think what got me here is I would like to be able to scale that when I'm with a bigger group. I think sometimes I, hold myself back a bit. And I think that this workshop could be, good for me to kind of step into that confidence level that makes me comfortable in, a bigger group setting.
This is beautiful. I love that as well. I know Ines as well. She has a brand. It's called Movers. She has a really good intention with it. Actually, she wants to connect women from all over the world together and make a difference because these are women in tech, also women in other industries, women in business. So I really like that intention. So I really hope that you get something out of this session as well. And I think lastly, we have Elliot left. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Of course. Hi, everyone. Thank you for sharing. I'm Ellie. Um, I think that what makes me special has to do with my good mood, even though things are quite difficult sometimes in terms of health, especially. I think I can cope with it and have real connections with people. I think I relate very well with Ines and Karen in terms of that search for real connection. Um, and what got me here, evidently, the lack of confidence. I'm not really happy with it. I think I can do things about it, and I'm open to it. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
That is beautiful. I love that. I love that people are taking that step. And these are very powerful women in the session, and they are all taking step to even become better version of ourselves, become even more confident and step into that power. So I really love that. So Thank you, everybody, for sharing your journey, for sharing a little bit about yourself and taking this step towards your inner work journey. I'm really happy to have you in this session. And now I'm going to move on a little bit and just a second, talk a little bit about my own story. So I moved to Ireland when I was turning 18, and I moved here for college. I was very introverted, like so much so that my friends had to push me into groups of people to actually talk to other people because I did not have the confidence to go and make eye contact with people, talk to people. It didn't come natural to me. And it was always a struggle. I always felt that I don't know how I'm going to take the bus by myself, or I don't know how I'm going to talk to people. It was always struggleful for me, and it didn't come natural to me. It was always like someone had to be with me to do the things because I just couldn't be by myself. I needed someone always to be with me, and that got me into a state of relying on other people. And when other people wouldn't show up, I would get very upset and I would feel alone and lost. And it was a very difficult time for me, that 1 year of being on my own. And when I took that step to move away from family, be on my own, and really discover inner work, my life completely changed because I changed. It was not because other circumstances changed, it was because I changed internally and I kind of focused on myself. Okay, how do I get to know myself? How do I change myself to become better, to add value to other people? And I think that's why I discovered that our life is to step into our power so that we can add value to other people. That's where I discovered this process. So it's been almost 8 years to develop myself, to really focus on myself, to keep evolving and keep becoming a better version of myself. So through those 8 years, I really dive into inner work, but also qualified as a life coach and as a personal stylist in this year and started coaching other people, but only to realize that there is power in this inner work. There is power in becoming and stepping into your power so that you can empower other people to do the same. And that's where I started traveling by myself, really focusing on self discovery, started to be confident to be able to speak in public. I did that. My first event was when I spoke in front of 80 people, and I had never done a presentation before in my whole life. And I was so scared, so nervous. It had to be completely scripted. It had to be something you had to memorize and say. You can't make a mistake there. But it was all good as well. And that gave me confidence to keep going, keep speaking in public, keep developing that confidence to go and show up in these situations. And that changed my life. And that's where I'm here to say that you can completely revamp your life at any time you want. And every day is a fresh start. Like today itself, when I woke up, I went for a walking meditation and I felt new. Just after that walking meditation, I felt like a new person. And I feel every day is an opportunity for us to restart. And our life is like a movie. It's like a movie. It's like we are living that movie every day. And we get to decide what character we want to play every day. So that's why I'm going to talk a little bit about that internal confidence, about giving yourself permission to rebrand, but also how you can use, your body language, your style, your everything to become that person you want to be every day. And that's why our life gets to be this fun little game where we decide what avatar we want to be, who we want to be, how we want to talk, who do we want to have in our life. And it just gets to be so fun. And that's why I shared this little bit about my story where I felt that this inner work has changed my life. So now we're just going to talk a little bit about what does confidence mean to you. If you could put one word in the chat or even speak about what is it that confidence means to you? Like, what would it look like for you to be unstoppable and limitless? Okay, we have some chats coming in. power. And both of them said power. I love that.
Yeah, in the same time. It's funny.
That is amazing. Confidence is power. I love it. Openness. Yes, you're open. You're completely, in your element. Openness. I love that. Energy. Positive outlook. Energy, positive outlook, power. I love that. And I think resilience. Yes, that is beautiful. Nobody said being loud and being, all like that. Everybody said internal things, power, energy, resilience, being attractive for yourself. Exactly. So you're not doing it for external things. Everybody said a word that was all internal. It was all power, which you can step into. Resilience, which is internal, preparation, positive outlook, being attractive for yourself. All these things are internal. They are all inside us. They are not coming from external circumstances, from people, from situations. They're all inside us, right? Like they're all within us as though they are almost like a part of us. They are a part of our being. And all we need to do is to just give ourselves permission to step into that.
Can I also add that I notice that when I'm confident, I have a kind of high speed in my life, that I get the things faster than usually, because there are no obstacles internally and also externally. Like you believe in it, or you believe in yourself, and then you go and get it. So there's nothing which restricts you or limits you, and therefore you feel that it's fast, it's happening fast. So that's what I noticed also about being confident.
I love that. And that's true. It's like time doesn't exist when you are being yourself, and when you're being in your power, in your element, you feel this timelessness, or you feel that things are effortless, things are a bit more easy for you, because you are allowing yourself to be who you want to be. You're allowing yourself to be radiant. And I love that people have cultivated a safe space in this group to voice their opinions. This is you being confident, you being yourself, because you're allowing yourself to share what you have to share. And I love that. Does anybody else want to add to that? Does anybody else want to say something? No? All right, that's okay as well. So what I'd like everybody to do now, which is interesting actually, I think we have something else in the chat. I'm joining from France. Oh, hi, Marin. How are you? Sorry, I just noticed you now. How are you doing? Are you good? If you can, of course, I understand that you're in France, but if you can, I do invite you to turn on your camera and participate in the session. But obviously, if you can, that's absolutely okay as well. Now, what we are going to talk about is giving ourselves permission. So, what everybody said in the chat is very interesting. It's about power, it's about resilience, it's about looking attractive for yourself, it's about, energy. So, now what I invite you to do is to give yourself this permission slip. It's a golden permission slip, which you can always have. It's always going to be with you. What I invite you to do is to give yourself that permission to be that now. To be that now. I mean, what would it look like for you to have all the permission in the world to be who you want to be? Maybe it is you wanting to speak on a stage. Maybe it is you launching your brand. Maybe it is you launching your brand to a higher level. Maybe it is you having a very big international event. Maybe it is you, going and approaching someone. Maybe it is you really looking the best version of yourself every single day. Who would you become in that moment? What is it that you believe about yourself that you currently feel that you're not believing? I invite you to write down whatever insight that come in your mind. Maybe you just want to think about it. Maybe you want to write down that insight which is coming in your mind right now. Who is it that I would like to become if I have permission to be that? I have that permission, that I can go speak on any stage that I like. I can go, talk to anyone that I like because I am giving myself that permission. Who would I be? And this is so beautiful because you know what I realized this year is that literally everything in life is made up. Everything is made up. We just literally, people come up with products every day, and they are now products and they are now companies and they are now things which people are paying for. And everything is just so made up, right, in the world because people give it meaning. People give themselves the permission and they go and do it, and now it's a product, and now it's a podcast, and now it's a YouTube channel. It's so interesting to me because they gave themselves that permission first, and then all of a sudden people are seeing that they have given themselves that permission, and now people are validating what they have already validated for themselves. So it's all starting from us. Can we give ourselves that permission to be who we want to be? And the most beautiful example of this is actually this year in October, I was invited to LinkedIn to talk about personal style and fashion. And I was actually a little bit nervous because I've never talked about fashion at a tech company before. And I didn't know what to expect, but obviously I made my slides and I sent it to them and I said, this is what I'm going to speak about. And they came back to me and they said, well, you might have to change the slides because the audience is going to be Afro-Irish, and you will have to make sure that the slides fit them, and it cannot be all inclusive. It needs to be them. I said, okay, I'll change my slides, and the slides got approved, and I went and I spoke about fashion at LinkedIn, and everybody's response, even from the people who were working there, from the people who were talking to me, people who were observing, they were all, this is something new. We never think about this. This is something refreshing. This is something new. That's what everybody said. But on the stage, I knew that I was feeling shimmering. I was like, maybe I'm listening to my own voice, the mic, and people are walking away. All these thoughts were coming in my mind, but I had to remind myself, I'm going to notice the people who are actually here, who are listening to me, who are going to get value out of this, and not the people who are walking away. And this is what we need to do. We need to always look at giving ourselves evidence that it is working out, even when we are stepping outside of our comfort zone, even if you're thinking that only 6 people have showed up, only this much is happening. Whenever we are thinking that, we gotta catch ourselves and look at, I'm going to add value to these 6 people. I'm going to add value wherever I go. This person is listening to me. And what beautiful thing happened out of the event. I got a client, coaching client, and I didn't even expect that. I got a styling client. So there are always people who are noticing your work everywhere you go. All you need to do is to give yourself permission and notice the evidence of it working out for you. So whatever insight is coming in this moment, I invite you to write it down. Who would you become? What would you believe about yourself? Once you've written it down, I invite you to share that if you would like to be sharing that. Who is it that you would become if you have the thing that you want? Anybody wants to go?
I can share something maybe.
Yes.
I think Karen as well mentioned that she has her own brand, or she's trying to kind of rebuild that. And I kind of relate to that. So I think that for us, when we are trying to build a side project and we keep our 9 to 5 or, our main source of income, um, at at some point I kind of question myself, am I fully believing in this side project, or it will always be like a hobby or something? So I think that if we step into our power and like have full confidence in what we are building, at some point, maybe not, at early stages, but like at some point we will be able to fully step into that idea and just, embody that idea and fully focus on our, passion rather than our corporate jobs, for example. So I think that, that's something that I would like to give myself permission for that in the near future, to kind of, believe the idea so strongly that I can, just get there and give my 200% to that passion.
I love that. That is beautiful, Ines. And that is so practical, right? That is so logical that yes, that what is belief really? It's about, yeah, I have this side project, but I also have my job, but I don't have that probably evidence that I'm able to do it fully. And that's where I have to give myself permission. So that is beautiful. Does anybody else want to go ahead sharing their what would you like to give yourself permission to do?
I think I wrote more or less what Ines said. I would like to give myself permission to relaunching my own brand and be successful. And to show myself to the world that to show self that I'm self-confident. I mean, I am self-confident, but sometimes, I think that I work a lot on myself. Like I have no problems with that, but still, it's something that I don't know. As Ines says, sometimes it's hard. Is you have your job and the brand is kind of till now because you're not making a lot of money. It's kind of your hobby, and then you don't know if to continue investing on that. So you're, I don't know. It's kind of hard at the beginning when you don't have a lot of money to invest on that. You know what I mean? And what would I like to believe about myself? In the future, I would like to be proud of myself and being so proud that I know that I'm capable of achieving whatever I want. That's all. Another person can continue talking.
That is
Thank you.
beautiful, Karen. And once everybody shares, I would like to talk a little bit about the brand and the 9 to 5 piece a little bit from something that I learned from a business coach. But Lilia or Elliot, would you like to go ahead next?
Yeah, I want to give myself permission to be myself and feel that I'm enough to be loved and valued by other people. And I allow myself not to like I just explained a little bit. I've been working on my personality for years, and I was improving myself a lot. And I heard one phrase from my friend who told me like, Lilia, you are working a lot on yourself. You always try to improve the things. You always try to improve your life. You always want to have better, but do you have time to enjoy it? And I realized that I didn't allow myself to stop, to take a moment and enjoy my like my fruits, fruits of my work. And I want next year, I just want to enjoy myself. And I want to allow myself to be selfish because I always take care of other people. I always think about other people a lot. And I realized that sometimes I forget to prioritize my life. So I want to give myself permission just to be selfish in a good way, of course. But I know that I will never be selfish in a bad way just because my personality will not allow me to do so. I will never damage anybody and put my interests above somebody's, I mean, I will not damage people by putting my interests first, but I just want to just to release my full potential and allow myself to do so.
I love that, Lilia. And that is beautiful, right? Sometimes what happens is that, we feel that we are being selfish by doing this work, by taking time, but actually we are being selfless, because the more we do work on ourselves, the more we're able to show up for other people in our brightest light, because we are feeling our best. We are in our energy. We are feeling so good that we have so much to give to other people. So this is beautiful, Lilia. And you talk about enjoyment, which is really, really crucial, because even when I was getting coached with my business coach, with other people, they will always say one thing: celebrate yourself, have fun with whatever you're doing. Fun and celebrate yourself would come up in every session, so much so that I would feel, but I'm already doing that. Can you not see? But they would always reiterate it, they would always keep reiterating the fun and celebrating yourself piece. So much so that I was called to do the Celebrate Yourself event because of this, to really, really hone in on the enjoyment and celebration piece. So that is beautiful. Ellie, would you like to go ahead as well?
You've said it very well already, so I think I'll pass on this one.
That's no worries at all. That's no worries. So, what I'd like to also say from Ines and Karen's perspective about the 9 to 5 and the brand, what I've learned from a business coach is that it gets to be a step-by-step process so that we don't have to restart. So, for example, yes, self-belief is very important, but sometimes our brain, our logical mind also wants evidence that we are actually able to financially support ourselves with our side hustle. So what he said to me was that if you are able to give yourself evidence with all the time that you have left over from all the other things that you do, and if you're able to make money out of that time that you have left over, then you are giving yourself practical evidence to step into the side hustle full time. And that is basically the practical evidence for peace, which I'm talking about. But when you give yourself permission, that's the first step to going into that version of yourself who is going full time. So the first step is always giving yourself permission. The practical evidence piece comes in when you give yourself permission. Even in my own journey, when I was always labeling myself as introverted, when I was labeling myself as someone who cannot speak to other people, or when I was labeling myself as someone who cannot have eye contact, these were all labels that I had put on myself. Even when it comes to physical attractiveness, I have really worked on myself as well. I never felt physically attractive a few years ago. I had to really work on myself, get fitter, focus on my health, focus on what makes me really nice every single day. And that has been a journey as well, to fall in love with myself, really. So it really gets to be an ever-evolving journey, but it all starts with giving yourself that permission slip. The next piece is to remove the labels and face the fear. So what are labels that you put on yourself right now? Maybe the labels are, I'm not attractive enough, or I'm not confident enough, I'm introverted, and I have this, I have that. Like, what are the labels that your inner critic has put on yourself right now? Maybe the labels are related to circumstances. Maybe the labels are related to your current situation. Maybe the labels are financial. Maybe the labels are something about your personality which you feel you cannot change. what are the labels that you currently have on yourself? And there are some labels that you probably want to keep. There are some labels that you're okay with, you have accepted, and that's absolutely okay as well. For me, that is, I actually don't really like going to the pub. I don't like the drinking atmosphere so much, and I've accepted that. Like, it took me a time to accept, but I've accepted that I don't like it. I like doing other things, and that's okay. So what are the labels that you have put on yourself? Are these labels serving you? What are the labels you want to let go of? Let's put a new label. So let's first put maybe like on the left, you can say labels I have put on myself and the labels that I want to keep. Labels that maybe new labels that I want to keep. I am extroverted. I am actually really confident. I'm charismatic. Maybe you can, think about what are the labels that you would like to have rather than what other people have said to you. Maybe other people said to you, you're very introverted, you're very thin, you're very overweight. Whatever people have said to you, these are labels that you have started to believe because maybe other people said to you, maybe your mom said to you, maybe you said it to yourself. You've heard these labels from somewhere, and that's where you believe these labels to be true. But they are not true, they're all made up, right? We already discussed that everything in this world is made up for us to believe in it. So these are labels that you've put. So I invite you, you don't have to share the list, but what are the labels that you have put on yourself? Really go inward and ask yourself, what are the labels that I feel like I've put on myself? Do I feel I'm introverted? Do I feel, I don't look good on camera? Do I feel I have pimples? Or what is it that I really feel I've put on myself as a label? Are these labels really serving me? Are these making progress in my life? And what would I like to let go of? It's a fresh new year coming in, and this is the best time of the year to do this because I really believe in letting go energetically, letting go every single day. Can I let go of something today? In this session, after this session, can I really let go of these labels which I've put on myself? Once you've written down the list of labels that you want to let go of, I invite you to literally put a very big cross on that list. Cross it off completely. And I invite you to never say that about yourself ever. In any meeting, any circumstance, to any friend, you're never going to use this to describe yourself. Once you've done that exercise of crossing out that list of labels, new labels. What is it that you would like to now be known for? What is it that everybody want people to say? Or what is it that you would like to say about yourself when you go into a room, What would you like to say? What are the new labels? Maybe it is, this person makes me feel really amazing about me. There's something about this person I can't say, this person radiates something which is really interesting. Once you have this list, whenever you're setting your intentions for the new year or whenever you're doing this work of reflecting, maybe in the new year or even tomorrow, I invite you to look at this list. And whenever you're going, you're maybe entering a coffee shop and you're talking to the barista, or maybe you are going for a walk, you're making eye contact with someone. I invite you to think about this list, the new labels that you put on yourself, and start to show up like that. Maybe it's even a conversation with the barista. How is this new version of you showing up in that conversation? How are they talking to the barista? I invite you to start practicing the new labels so that you can let go of the old story and you have this new story. You have a new life experience because of those new labels that you have put on yourself. And it's really fun to practice at Starbucks, because every time you go, maybe there's a new barista, maybe there's a barista that's already there. You start asking about their life. Oh, wow, I saw your Instagram, you dance. That has happened to me. Like, I know someone who's a barista, they dance. I get to know about the baristas, and before you know it, you're getting free Starbucks, every day. It happens. You just have to be interested in the other person. You have to show up interested, right? Like, you're showing up and you're practicing in the Starbucks conversations, because that is easy, right? You may or may not see that barista again. So practicing in conversations where you don't see the people again is easier for your mind, because there's less fear. There's less self-consciousness. So I invite you to practice with unknown people, with people you meet randomly, so that there's less fear for you to step into your power. Okay. Now, this is a little bit more intention setting work, but what is the life that you want to create in this wheel of life? I invite you to look at this wheel of life, and then you're going to look at how would you like to show up in these areas of your life. So what would putting those new labels, what would confidence look like in these areas of your life? So now we have career, we have family, we have physical environment, we have finances. But what I invite you to look at is, okay, is there one area which I would like to really, really focus on in the new year or tomorrow or just today? Is there an area which really stands out, and how can I use this new version of myself to step into that area? Maybe a very good example is health. Last year I joined the gym. I didn't ever step into the gym before, like beginning of last year, I think. Yeah, and I had never stepped in the gym before. Karen knows because she's laughing. She knows my journey. I had never even done a squat before, right? Like, I hired a personal trainer, nutritionist, everybody, because I just felt that I couldn't do it myself. I needed support. And my trainer was like, she gave me resistant bands. Like, I was doing the squat. I wasn't even doing it. I didn't know how to do the squat. So she trained me how to squat. And I had lost my period back then. And that was one of my reasons why I joined the gym. And I had I didn't know if I'll get my period back. I just joined the gym. And I just kept showing up. I kept showing up to the training sessions, and then eventually stopped doing the training sessions, started doing it myself. And in a few months, I got it back. I actually got it back without the pills or without any of the medical stuff, just by showing up. So that was one of my intentions last year. So just because earlier in the gym, I was very self-conscious because I felt everybody was looking at me, and I felt like I don't know how to do a squat. And there's this feeling, right, in the gym. You feel everybody's looking at you, and you have this feeling that you're new in the gym, so you don't know how to use the machines. But when you start showing up, there's a point where you stop looking at yourself as a beginner, and you start looking at yourself as someone who goes to the gym. And this is a beautiful example, because there's this mind switch which happens, right? At some point, you have to say to yourself, I'm not a beginner, I actually go to the gym now, So that is permission. That's giving yourself permission as seeing yourself as a gym goer. So that is a very beautiful example of confidence and showing up, giving yourself that permission as someone who does the thing that you want to do. Similarly, for your brand, yes, right now we are viewing ourselves as a 9 to 5 job core, and the brand is a side job, right? And that is something that, it's going to come with practice, that when you're introducing yourself, introducing yourself as, yes, I own this brand. I own this brand. Yes, I also have 95. I also have a job, but I am this brand owner. I have this mission, and this is what I want to achieve. And just saying it out loud to the Starbucks barista, all of a sudden you're saying it to someone you're meeting at an event. So that Starbucks barista practice is golden, because the more you start saying it, the more you start believing it. So that is one thing. And now it's just about, okay, confidence is built over time by showing up over and over again. And this is why I've put the slide here, is that giving yourself permission, showing up over and over again to the gym, to the Starbucks barista, to every conversation, you're giving yourself that permission. Every time it gets better. I'm noticing myself when I introduce myself. Every time it gets different, it's different. And I'm noticing I said something else last night, and now I'm saying something. So you're always evolving in every introduction. And I love that about this. It's like you get to evolve every time you do this. So it gets to be this ever-evolving exercise. Now it's just, how would you want to show up in your life? In this area, every area is interdependent. It's not separate. It's all one wheel. And the most beautiful part is, like, our life is this wheel, right? So if one area is very, like, dented, it's not balanced, it's going to be a little bit imbalanced when it moves. So this is something I had to learn as well, that we can't go all in just one area. It needs to be, like, a little bit balanced. So it's okay to squander that number a little bit all around. But how do I want to show up in these areas? What type of light am I bringing in these areas of my life? And how would that version of me show up? So I do invite you to, even this is a little bit more deeper, because it's kind of a very intense practice to reflect in these areas, but take it away, take this wheel of life away and really reflect. Who am I being? When I'm talking to my friends and family, who am I being when I'm talking about my career? Who am I being when I'm talking about my finances, my health? How am I talking about myself in these areas? And how am I showing up? How communicating without words. This is, like, the most beautiful part of the session. It's been more practical. We've talked all about giving ourselves permission. Now it's all about doing, right? It's about showing up. You can see a lot of images on the slides, and I've not put any words, because this is about the art of communication without words. Why I say this is because when we show up every day in our world, people are reacting to what they see first, because we are very visual, and we react to what we see first. So, for example, you're showing up on social media, right? People can only see, people can hear you, but they can see you. And a lot of the times people have their audio off and they're only seeing the pictures and the videos. So what they see is, how are you using your words and your body language to communicate what you have to say? Eye contact. Eye contact is so powerful, really, like Starbucks barista example again. When you're ordering your coffee or your drink, your matcha, say hi, how are you? Look people in the eye, smile, and actually ask them about their day. Has it been busy today? That's, like, always something I ask. Has it been busy today? What is it that, is this your full-time job? Ask about, because usually people don't ask that. So that really makes you stand out, so ask people about their day, and use your body language a little bit, because we have words, but we also have our body. We have our hands, and hands are like our business cards, is something I learned recently, that our hands are our business cards. And this is something so beautiful. I didn't know that. I learned it in the etiquette class, that our hands are our business cards. So the way we present our hands is very important. So when you are in a social setting, your handshake, the way you speak with your hands. And you don't have to do what I'm doing, but you can do your own thing. Maybe it's your own, the way it comes naturally to you, doing a little bit experiment. So This is just the art of saying things without saying it, because people are following it just by the way you are expressing your energy. So the way you are, maybe you're speaking to someone, you don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You can be gentle, you can be yourself by using these tactics, by using these tips. So also eye contact. So the first picture you see, the person is kind of crossed. And the second picture, the person looks a little bit open. So when you're going about your day, you're walking on the street, I invite you to have a little bit open body language and to look people in the eye when you walk. So this is a very simple exercise. You will see a lot of people's facial expressions, right? And that will give you evidence that, okay, how is my facial expression? I want it to be a little bit open. You don't have to be always smiling, but open facial expression, relax hands, because you never know. There are so many people you meet every single day. You want it to be open, and that's where you're giving the universe sign that you're open to opportunities. It's not even being open to people, you're open to opportunities, your heart is open. And I invite you to have that openness. Eye contact, you're straight, you're really, really, you're embracing yourself, regardless of what your body is right now. You're embracing yourself, you're walking powerfully, you're walking in confidence every day on the street. You're going and ordering your coffee and you're interested, you're making that eye contact with that person. And then you're using your hands. So these are just simple things that you can do every day. Practicing at Starbucks or at your favorite coffee shop is my number one tip, because that's giving yourself permission. When you do it there, you can do it in a networking event. You can do it at a business meeting. I mean, I was invited to a meeting this past year, and it was with the partners, right? It was with the partners in my company, and I had to go and give an update. It was a town hall. It was being broadcasted to the whole company. And I was only given 2 days notice, and I didn't even prepare. I just went in and I showed up to the meeting and I gave an update. And I just felt internally that I didn't have to do a lot of preparation or anything. I just allowed myself to be myself, naturally show up and just give the update. And it went smoothly because I didn't feel that need to be different with these people, because I already felt that I was okay, just by showing up like that. And that was not always the case. I would always put people on a pedestal or put people above me. And I had to change that narrative. Start looking at people as equal and start looking at myself as worthy of being in any room that I am right now. So this is something I invite you to do. If you would like to take a picture on the slide, you can, or take a middle picture, and always remind yourself to step into your most authentic version of yourself, any room that you're in. The art of pressing. I love this part as well, because this part is just beautiful, right? It's like the most fun part of the session. Is about customizing your avatar a little bit and playing with fashion, because fashion is actually a tool for us to express what is within us. So I feel I'm very creative. I love creating. I just love creating, and I feel fashion allows me to create that with my image. And that's what I like doing with my clients also. When I go and style them, I like to do this with them. I like to put them in colors which they would never wear. And when they see that, when they see different prints, different colors, they're just like, wow, I never thought I could wear that, I put a girl who loves black bodycon dresses into a yellow dress, and she bought the dress. She wears the dress to events. And it's something she would have never picked if I wasn't there, right? So just push her a little bit outside of comfort zone, but she gets compliments in that dress whenever she wears. So it's about giving yourself permission again. So there was someone who said looking attractive for yourself. I feel dressing is always about you. It's never about where you're going, who you're meeting. It's never about the other person, it's always about you. Because our life is every day, right? And what I really live by is to not save your favorite pieces for special occasions, because every day is a special occasion. Every day you're waking up. Every day is a new start. And you get to use your favorite pieces every day, your favorite jewelry every day, your favorite dresses, your favorite coats every day, regardless of where you're going. And when you develop your mindset like that, you every day you're prepared for anything to happen. You never feel that self-consciousness. And there would be a point where, you don't even need all those things. But what I feel is that this just makes it fun. This just makes it like a little bit more fun. Every single day is fun because you're allowing yourself to go all out every day. And this is what I really like, that it takes 7 seconds to make the first impression, and the world is pretty visual. And I'm not saying that you have to do X, Y, and Z every day. You do what is making you feel the best every day. And that could be just putting, your favorite lip gloss or maybe your favorite perfume. This is making you feel the best. And that's good. What is making you feel the best? What is it that makes you feel, I'm ready to rock it today? I feel amazing. I can go into any room and I will feel amazing. Because that is practicing, right? And it makes you feel amazing. It's about feeling, right? It's not about the external circumstances, more about the feeling that you get when you show up. And it's beautiful. I invite you to experiment with this. Maybe today or tomorrow, just go all out as the most, extravagant version of yourself. Maybe you're going, like as though you're going to an event, right? Just put that effort and go into the world, order Starbucks coffee, and you will feel different. You will feel that energy coming through you because you have put that effort into yourself. And that is why I invite you to wear something that will make you shine, wear something that flatters your figure and your skin tone, wear something that will make you memorable. Because this is very interesting, right? There are a lot of people who say to me, I have seen you somewhere, and I don't know where they have seen me, but maybe they've seen me on the street or LinkedIn or something like that. But wearing something that makes you memorable, something that's your signature, is very beautiful as well. And then focusing on the feeling. This is something I invite my clients to do. Focus on how you want to feel. And that is like your style words as well. Like, what is it that you want to feel every single day when you show up in the world? Maybe you want to feel authentic. Maybe you want to feel radiant. I want to feel limitless. How do I want to show up? And what is the outfits that make me feel that way? And if you really want to track it, you can actually do this for a week and then then reflect, okay, how did I feel that day? And that will give you evidence that this outfit makes me feel this way in the world, and this is a very good practice to have as well. Don't be shy. If there's something in your mental dialogue, am I overdressed? Whenever that's coming in your mind, am I too overdressed? Is this, I shouldn't wear this because this is making me stand out? That's when I invite you to wear that, that day, wear it. Because that's when you're going to give yourself permission. Everything is permission. That's why I put that in the front, because everything is giving yourself that permission to show up. Okay, now next slide is focusing on quality connections. So before I move on here, does anybody want to say anything? Does anybody want to share any insights that are coming for themselves? Any experience, anything that comes up? No, if that's okay, I'll move on to the art of small talk, because I feel small talk is something which is very popular here in Ireland. I haven't seen it much in the, in the Eastern European, or for example, the DAC countries. They are a little bit more direct. So what I see here is that there is this level of small talk, but I think we can master this in any country as well if we master the art of communication. So when you first go to an event or you go anywhere in the world, I invite you to practice. This is very beautiful, because what happens is that when we go to events, right, when we go out there in the world, what people do is that, let me add you on LinkedIn. They talk to 10 people, they add them on LinkedIn, and that's about it. That's calling it a day. I invite you to take a reverse approach to this because this is beautiful, right? I've done this in almost every event I go to. It's beautiful. What I invite you to do is to just do one conversation. Then you can slowly level that up to several, but one. Just go to someone who looks very approachable, someone who looks like they're up for conversation, they're free, they don't have anything in their hand. Look them in the eye, just maybe do a handshake and just ask them, okay, what got you here today? How's your day today? How are you feeling today? And start asking them questions about them, or maybe compliment them. I really like your blazer. I love this color. Just make that little initial connection and start asking them about them. People love to talk about themselves, but also about what they're passionate about. Asking them questions about them is something that really makes you interesting, because in our world, not everybody is able to listen very well, and not everybody is able to communicate very well. And a lot of people focus on kind of what can I get out of this connection. But instead of that, let's focus on really being interested and present in this connection. What is it that I can add value in this person's life? And what is this person saying to me? Like, what is it that they're saying to me? So I invite you to really, really focus on that one conversation, making eye contact and being engaged with this person, whoever you meet in an event, and be like actually giving them time and actually listening to what they have to say. And then when it's time to go, connect with them on LinkedIn, then in person. Because that's you making that impact, that's you making that meaningful conversation that might lead to something maybe in the future, but at that moment you're present with this person. And that is quality connections. Over adding 10 people on LinkedIn, this is quality because this is something you have energetically invested in. You've energetically shown that you are interested in what this person has to say. And a lot of us, we focus on being interesting, right? We want to be like, yeah, I'm good at this and this. We are focusing on that. But can we focus on being really interested in this other person? Which is very paradoxical, because I've seen now more and more people like this, because obviously I met a lot of coaches this year. I met a lot of people who have done inner work. So I met a lot of people who are interested in what I have to say. But before then, it's all about speaking about yourself. So I invite you to, yes, speak about yourself, never dim your light, but also really be interested in the other person, because that is something that is going to make you really memorable wherever you go. Homework for you, for everybody, is to actually witness how you show up in the next week. Did anything change in the way you carry yourself and how people respond to you? Starbucks exercise, how are they responding to you? Go to different coffee shops and try this. And also power dressing, right? Show up every day differently, or in a way that makes you feel even more confident, and show up how you're getting that validation and response from other people. Because when you have done it yourself, when you feel it within yourself, you will see that being projected to you from the outside world. This is beautiful, because even like a year ago or 2 years ago, I felt that, I'm wearing the best outfit, but I wouldn't wear the same thing now. I would not wear the same outfit now. But at that moment, I felt that, it's my best outfit. And everybody was giving me compliments, but now I wouldn't wear the same thing, for example. So it's really interesting that how we see ourselves can influence how others see us. It's beautiful. So I invite you to start, practicing this. And the new year is coming in, so you can let go of stuff that doesn't resonate. Let go of anything that you don't want to carry forward in the new year, the labels, the wardrobe, anything that you don't want. Just remove it, let it go, give it to charity, sell it, because it doesn't serve the new version of you, and more will come. So it doesn't mean that you're letting go. It means that you wouldn't have enough. You are actually making space for that new wardrobe, for the new version of you. And I do this all the time. Like, I sell stuff, I let go of stuff, and then I don't buy the thing immediately, but maybe over time if something really resonates, and then I buy it. So this is really good. So this is something you can take away, take a screenshot and do this and see the difference, because it's all about doing. We can get the information, but it's about doing. I think we can help with that part, Lilia. So what is that? Sorry, I think I missed that. Ellie.
Sorry if I interrupted. It's
Oh,
just
sorry.
that
Yeah.
Lilia wrote a message there and
Oh,
just
yeah,
replied.
sorry, what was that about? Yeah, small talk. Yeah, I'll pass the message. Sorry, we last was always in small talk. Need to learn how to do it. Yeah, so I feel, yes, right. I think small talk it's kind of like nobody wants to do it because it's so meaningless, and that's what I used to think. But actually, it's a really beautiful icebreaker. It eases you into any hard situation, into any hard conversation. So if you're feeling that me as Russian, it's hard to do it, again, labeling, right? It's again labeling ourselves as it's not a part of my culture. So I invite you to dissolve that, and start practicing at Starbucks, as I mentioned. It's a beautiful way to practice because there's no attachment, right? There's no expectation. It's only Starbucks. There's less resistance. You can show up as whatever you want. And this is beautiful. So I invite you to declutter your wardrobe, create 3 to 4 power outfits, start practicing carrying yourself differently in the next week, because this is the next week is basically coming towards the new year. So we can experiment. We can really, start to use these days as practice days for us to start building up to the new version of ourselves. So this is beautiful. I invite you to do this and to really feel into it. And now, obviously, I am offering 30-minute call. If you would like to, it's basically about style. It's about coaching. I offer 2 different services. One is about personal styling. So that is personal style coaching, also wardrobe edits, in-person shopping appointments, where I can create looks for you and you can buy outfits. And the first one is coaching, which is basically mindset coaching. So I offer weekly and monthly packages. So if you're interested in this call, I'm going to actually help you to walk away with one thing that you can do now with regards to anything, style or coaching. So if you would like to book it, this is my Calendly link and you can book it with the session. And I'll also give an email as well after the session if you're interested. But yeah, that is basically it. And now just to leave you with something a little bit inward activation, I invite you to just close your eyes for a few minutes and give those minutes to me. So I invite you to just close your eyes, completely take a few deep breaths. You're completely black right now. Everything is black within your reach. You're not opening your eyes. I invite you to take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose. Sigh it out. If any sound is coming, just let it out in through your nose. Just release it in through your nose. I invite you to now just look in front of you. There is a little smoke happening. You can see a smoke. You can visualize any color you like, your favorite color. You can see a little bit of smoke in front of you. As you see the smoke, I invite you to look through it. There's complete blackness, but there's this smoke. The smoke is now building up a little bit. You can see the smoke building up. And as you see the smoke building up, you see someone walk through this door. There's someone walking through this smoke. There's someone approaching you. You see them. You really see this person. As you see this person, you notice that this person looks like you. But they just make you feel like you're in awe of this person. This person is coming towards you. They're walking towards you. You can hear the sound of them walking towards you. I invite you to see this person. How are they walking towards you? What are they wearing? I invite you to really see them. This person is you. You've given yourself the permission slip that you need to really show up in your power now. As you do that, you see yourself walking towards you. You're really walking towards you. You can see them. As you do that, this other version of you raises their hands. And as they do that, you do that too. You raise your hands towards them and you tap it. As you tap your hands with this other person, you join it and you completely breathe this person in you. It feels like you're becoming one with this person. And you feel it in your body. You feel like this light is coming in you right now. You feel so activated. You feel so energized. You can see the white light going through your arms. Can you feel it? Can you feel that white light going through your arms as you hold this energy in your hands? I invite you to feel this limitless energy in your heart right now because you're completely limitless. Like there's no boundary, there's nothing stopping you to really step into that next level version of you because you are her now. As you do that, I invite you to literally pour that energy in your heart center by putting your hands over your heart. You can really feel that energy. You can feel that white light. You can see that light completely going inward in your heart. And breathe it in. Just feel that energy. You feel that white light in your eyes. You feel so good right now because you really breathe this person in. You feel that energy in your body. I invite you to always remember this energy, this person, this version of you, and you can connect with them by putting your hands over your heart anytime you want. Anytime you're in a situation where you're feeling self-conscious, you're feeling that doubt coming in, I invite you to put your hands over your heart and feel into this energy because this energy is within you. As you feel into this energy, I invite you to just breathe it in, breathe it all in. It's juicy, it's this white energy, it's this life force energy that you have. I invite you to breathe it in, breathe it all in. Just breathe it in. You're just feeling it in your body right now. It's beautiful. You can't believe it, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. One last deep breath in.
No se censura ahí después. Mira, no se censura ahí.
One last deep breath in, everybody. And slowly you can open your eyes. Would anybody like to share how they felt? I truly felt the life force energy while I was doing the meditation, while I was saying it. How did everyone feel? Did you feel the life force energy? This is
It
within
was super nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, I felt it.
it is within us, right? That energy, it's inside us, like that life force energy, and all it wants is to get out. All it wants is to be expressed in the world. And this session is all about giving ourselves permission to do it. I'm really glad that you guys showed up and you were called to take action, to show up to this session. And I hope that it gave you something today to work with, to really step into. And yeah, I hope that this session was useful for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, if everybody wants to leave their socials in the chat to connect with each other, I invite you to do that as well. I will leave my Instagram as well. So everybody can leave their socials on the chat so that everybody can connect with each other. Obviously, only if you want to, but connect with each other, guys, and keep connected.
Okay.
I'm going to put mine in the chat as well. But connect with each other, everybody. Yeah, Marian, if you would like to as well, I know that you missed a little bit of the session, but I recorded it so you can view it on YouTube later. But everybody can leave their Instagram or their numbers or anything, but I invite people to be connected with each other. And yes, and also my mailing list as well. I will add everybody to my mailing list, and you can receive my events. Yeah, follow Movers, follow Ines. Yeah, that is Marin. Marin is like everywhere. She's at every event, so I invite you to follow her as well. Beautiful. Yeah, if you want to promote your brand, guys, put it all in, because we're all about connecting with each other. Put everything in. Yes, perfect. All right.
Yeah.
I think we have everybody there. Yeah, this is amazing. Brand.
Mm. Mm.
All right. Thank you again, everybody, to show up to this beautiful session. I would just like to take a quick picture, if you would be okay with that, just for my Instagram. Let me just quickly share the first slide as well. Just going to share the first one. This one. And then going to present this. Everybody. Okay, everybody can smile. We'll take one group photo later as well, which I can send to everyone. Okay. Amazing. I'm gonna just stop sharing. This is interesting because it's a virtual event, so taking virtual photos. One more picture, everyone. Love it. Amazing. Thank you, everybody. I will also post this session on YouTube, so you can always come back to it. And I will also send an email after the session. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank you
day.
so much. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.